Hi everyone, welcome to Happy Friday, to Friday Inspiration. It's a joy to be with you all. I just love doing these. So I'm happy that you are either joining me live or watching this at a later time. And just good morning from LA. It's morning time here. I'm not sure where you're joining me from. It could be good evening, good night, or good morning. But grateful to be here. Today we're going to be sharing, or I'm going to be sharing about 3 keys to happiness. And I just randomly chose them this morning. I'm just going to share with you the 3 key things that have really helped me dive into happiness and true happiness. And we'll get into that as we move along. But right now, I just want to go ahead and close our eyes as we pray together. And we give over this live to Spirit, to Holy Spirit. And we invite the divine to come into this session, into this moment of consciousness. Whatever needs to express would be expressed. Whatever needs to be shared would be shared. That is the utmost benefit for healing our minds together, for the collective. We give over of trying to manipulate or make anything happen and just enjoy the ride. We're so grateful and thankful for this moment to be able to join and to remember who we really are in truth. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you. We're eternally grateful for you. This time we put our hand on our hearts. I invite you to take a deep breath here. And open your eyes as we look at each other and we declare, I am love and I am willing. Amen, 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 amen. I feel like it's a little foggy, the screen. Let me see if this might help. I forgot to put my lights today, but I think that's better. So I see a couple people joining me live right now. Thank you for being here, and all those that are joining us at a later time. It doesn't matter. Time is just an illusion, right? The Course would say, so it doesn't matter. The most important thing is the willingness to be together here. I'm excited about today's topic. I hope everybody enjoyed last week's video. I felt that it was just very helpful for a lot of people. I also want to thank those that sent in donations to my ministry, to my, my career as being a teacher of God. So I always say God is my career. And it's really supported by my community so that I can be here on Fridays and also be supported because my son Ari is 10 months and he goes to private care. So your help is definitely appreciated. Big time, big time, big time. Every time I finish and I receive a donation, I'm like, oh my God, I just feel so supported. So thank you. Today I was like, well, what do I share? I didn't receive any questions this week. So I also want to remind everyone, if you do have any questions for me to address on Fridays, to send them to me via Facebook, or you can also email me. And my email is on my website, mariafelipe.org. So you can find my contact information there. So I was thinking about today what I wanted to share with you all. And what came to me is the keys to happiness. I feel like it's important to implement these 3 things that help me keep me in a very peaceful, harmonic, balanced state. But first, I want to talk about what is happiness truly. What is the happiness that the Course in Miracles talks about? Happiness is my function and happiness is my inheritance. I would say happiness is like love. Because happiness is what we are. I would say happiness and love are one. Really, they really go together, is the best way to describe it. And it's not the happiness that we are taught in the world of like a happiness that is temporary, or it is based on external things or certain things working out in the outside so that you can feel a sense of peace. But true happiness is keeping your peace, keeping the love that you are, continuing to remember your truth, regardless of what is going on the outside. It's a state of being of where you are in the world and you are not of it. That is true happiness. It's really getting to the point of like your peace does not get um, affected regardless of what might be going on outside. It's like you're very secure in your true self, is what true happiness is. So I feel that sometimes in this world of duality, we have it upside down and we think about this cheerleader happiness. Oh, I'm happy if I get a raise, or I'm happy if I get, if I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or I'm happy because I have something in form. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, please, celebrate your riches, celebrate your manifestations, your creations, because we are creators in this world of duality. Although it's important to not let those things define you. When you let love define you, God define you, that is true happiness. It's when you are disconnected from something outside of you, making you special. And one of the key things that I feel that has helped me really incorporate true happiness is responsibility, is taking responsibility for my experience, for my perceptions, taking responsibility of my thoughts and what I'm choosing to think. The responsibility to choose fear or love, that responsibility is mine. So in this world, you're going to be approached with problems. You're going to be approached with certain things that will happen. I call them big deals in this lifetime. We're going to have maybe something go on in our relationships, in our closest relationships, or we might have something go on at work, or it's as if you solve the problem and then there's going to be another one the next day, right? So we want to start to get really good at taking responsibility for how you are going to experience that problem. Does that make sense? So you want to start to have this sense of, okay, I'm going to discern, and the course is teaching us I get to experience this realm by my choosing. And isn't that powerful, guys, that you have the responsibility? You actually are responsible for how you're going to feel. You're responsible for what you're going to believe. You're responsible for what you're going to value. So if you're responsible for that, guess what, guys? You are the creator. You get to call the shots on how you're going to feel. It's not outside of you. You're not a victim of the world that you see. Nothing outside of you is controlling you like a puppet, because you are in your power. You're Superman, you're Superwoman, the true superpower in God as God. So this is so important, to start to take responsibility for your existence, to not be a victim of your circumstances, to not be a victim of the world that you see, and start to embody responsibility. Now, sometimes that's hard, and I get it, and sometimes we don't do it out of 10, and that's okay. Living your happy means you are gentle with yourself, and you do the best you can with the awareness that you have. So you want to start to really embody that responsibility as best as you can every day. Some days it's going to be at a 10, and then some days it's not going to be at a 10. Okay? And that's okay. You do the best you can. But I want you to know that one of the keys that you can live a happier existence in this cuckoo realm, in this crazy world, right, is by knowing that you are responsible. You are responsible. The second thing that is so helpful for me to live my happy is not making things matter. Not making things matter. Now, what does that mean? In my book, I call this letting go of the big deals. Is to start to give less weight on what you think is true, on what you have made a reality in your life, of what you have valued, and to start to not make it matter so much, right? Because when you make something matter, you make something a big deal. What happens is that you lose, don't you lose sleep over it? Don't you like, you make something matter so much that you can't even sleep at night. And you're thinking about a problem that you can't remotely fix right then, right? Because you are in bed, your head is on the pillow, right? And this problem is outside of you. Maybe you have to make a phone call, or maybe you have to appear in court, or maybe you have to go get your license, and you're concerned about something. I have no idea what that is, right? But you're thinking about the problem and you're literally in your bed. It's like you can't do anything about it, right? So I invite you not to make these things matter so much, these worldly things. They're tasks. I get it. And you have to be responsible, and you probably need to do certain things. Although, don't let them take away your peace. Because peace is your inheritance. Peace, right? This world has taught us that it's not our right, that we are suffer, and we need to make things very real, and we need to, really be responsible in the sense of the world. Like, we need to pay these bills, and if we're not, we're bad, right? No, it's yeah, I am responsible, although at the same time, I'm not going to let this take away my peace. So the good example is one time, hi, thank you so much. I see a couple of people writing here. Thank you so much for, I love, I said, I feel the power, sister. Thank you so much. I know, I feel I feel like this power surging through me. So I'm excited that we could all be witness to this together, because I'm on fire about this topic. And for those that haven't seen the beginning of this video, I invite you to please look at it from the beginning. A lot of little nuggets here. I was in a freeway. Hi, Anita. How are you? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I always say, Anita, I see that you say, I appreciate your realness. I always say, what is it? Authenticity is sexy. Authenticity is sexy. I really think that authenticity really has the power to heal big time. So going back to, so I'm going to cover that. So that's not making things matter. The third one is big willingness. Big willingness is the third key for me in my life to be able to live my happy. Now, what does that mean? Like, what the heck is big willingness? Well, the Course in Miracles says all we need is a little bit of willingness and miracles happen. For me, this world is such a shit show, and it's so filled with cuckoo-ness and problems that for me, I need big willingness for change. So the key here is you really want to change. It's like, I'm going to change and that's it. Like I am done with my littleness. I am done with settling. I am done with making things real. I am done with not taking responsibility. I am done with not forgiving. You know what I'm saying? So you want to have big, fat willingness for change. Because what's true here, we got to get really honest about this, guys, is you want to change, but not really, right? Doesn't that make you giggle? It's like, you want to change, but not really. Why? Because you still want to hang on to something. So I want to ask you today, what is that you're still hanging on to? What is it that there's that little thing there that you still don't want to change? Because if you do want to live a fulfilling, peaceful life of happiness, you need to really dive in deep and do the work, even if you don't want to. So what does that mean? You forgive even if you don't want to. You take responsibility even though it sucks sometimes, even if you don't want to. You wake up every morning and you work on yourself. You do your best to be your true self. You do your best to live your inheritance in God, as God, so that you can be a reflection to others, that they can have the same, that they can experience the same happiness. So you want to have that big willingness every day to meditate. You want to do the work. One of the most healing things, and this is something that I don't do enough, is to really sit down and meditate. For instance, tonight, my husband and I are going for a 2-hour meditation here in Los Angeles, and we do it once a month. Once a month, we go to this place. I mean, we usually try to meditate every day, but tonight specifically, it's 2 hours of just silence. So, and it's free. Meditation is free and we don't use it enough. And when you meditate, there's this space that's created of where I think it's so underrated sometimes. I feel like, oh yeah, I don't have time to meditate, or, meditation is not for me. I mean, even if you don't even connect the way that you want to connect, or your thoughts don't go blank like you would like them, just give yourself the time to be still. And it feels so good just to be. And the next step is to try to not have any thoughts. And you do that by asking yourself, what am I going to think next? What's my next thought? And if you think, what am I going to think next? What's my next thought? Usually your thoughts will stop. So I invite you to use that to help you. Rosa says, hola, me espero al del español, aunque me gusta ver también en inglés porque igual entra por los poros. Thank you, Rosa. Rosa says she's waiting for me to do this in Spanish, which I do it in Spanish after I finish here. But she says that in English, she still gets it because she feels it. And it's so beautiful because language is not a barrier. I feel like when we're speaking truth, it could be whatever. I mean, somebody could be watching me in Japanese and still feel the space and the love of where this is coming from. Because this is for all of us. I feel like we've come together collectively in this live right now, or whoever's watching this video after, because there's something within us that really wants to live in this existence of a world in peace and in love and in harmony and happiness, but for real, because the time has come. The time has come. It's like, I want to experience happiness, period. I am love and I am love, period. Not, I am love, but I'm going to look for love outside of myself, or I'm abundance, but I'm going to believe that I don't have money in the bank, or get concerned about that I don't have money in the bank, or I am the light, but I'm super worried about this job interview, right? So you need to start to begin to live your happy by living the principles, And that you do it again by taking responsibility, right? Which we talked about today, by not making things a big deal, not make them matter so much, right? To know that you're in this world, but not of it. And lastly is to live as if you have everything and you lack nothing. That is the key. That is the key. So I hope you guys will join me on this happy train as we step into this week, this weekend, and this week. Thank you, Angelica. Thank you, everybody that's joining us right now. I love that. Thank you, because we do. It's true. So as we go into this week until next Friday, let's do a practice. So the practice is to be very vigilant of how you are being a victim of your circumstances, how you're not taking responsibility. So be very mindful of if you're taking responsibility and the choices that you are making. The second thing is to practice not making things matter. If you feel like you're starting to worry about a problem, anything that's coming up this week, a big thing that's coming up for you, is to practice not making it matter so much. To practice not giving it so much weight, not giving it so much investment, because you're worthy of more than that. You are worthy of more than that. And then this week, I invite you to have big willingness. I invite you to have big willingness by doing something different. Perhaps maybe you haven't been meditating every day. So meditate every day, at least for 2 minutes. Every morning, have a routine. Have big willingness for change. Perhaps there's something you haven't forgiven. I invite you to forgive that this week. Okay? The other big willingness is, maybe there's something you haven't taken responsibility for. Maybe there's somebody you're blaming, right? I invite you to take back your power this week. Why? Because you are worthy. Why? Because it's your divine right. Why? Because happiness is your inheritance and happiness is your function. All right, everyone. See you next week here on YouTube Live. I'm here at 10 a.m. Then after I go into Spanish. So please join me. Also support the channel by making your donations. That information is on the video description link. Thank you, everyone. Till next time.